Madhava Kunda Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jai Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Gaura Sivanandi Naim Shipad Paramahamsa Pri Prajagacharya Stotra Satya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shirabhai Charanarvin Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skan Vibhiti Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Pimanande all that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to be assembled devotees, all that is to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all that is to Sri Prabhupada ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Saram Taksuranmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnava Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Sri Visakanditam Scha Hai Krishna Karuna Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kantana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tirubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Saiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta praya sabadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and the loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama
Sridham Bhagavatam Namaha
Puranam Brahmasamitam
Puranam Brahma Samhitam
Uttama Charitam
Uttama Sloke Charitam
Sakara Bhagavan Rishi
Chakaro Bhagavan Rishi
Nisreyasaya Lokasya
Nisheshaya Lokesha
Dhanyam Swasayanam Mahat.
Dhannam Shashayana Maha.
This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna
Sri
Chaitanya
Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Sri Advaita
Sri
Gadadhara
Adaita Gadadhar
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Om Sarabhyaya Namaha
Om Surabhyaya Namaha
Om Sarabhyaya Namaha
Om Surabhyaya Namaha
Om Sarabhyaya
Om
Namaha
Surabhyaya Namaha
Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam yatkripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Yesterday was, it's not written on the calendar, but it was a festival which I think many years ago was very popular in India. Whether they have this outside of India, I don't know. And the festival is called in honor of Father Bull, Brishabutsava. Brishava. You know Brishava?
Vishwa means whale, bull.
Yes. Means, Nandi is the personification of bull. Lord Shiva's carrier, bull, Nandi. So, Brishava, uh, I came to, well, actually, a few years ago, when we started the VCO, yes, Varnashram College Online, we one devotee um, was he was not a full-time devotee, but he was very inclined, and he got into this revival of Utsava, Rishabhutsava. And what it is actually is that in honor of the bull, it's still practiced in some God, in Gujarat, they still practice. And what they do is they decorate the bull very nicely, just like sometimes they decorate the cow when they have Gopuja. So so that day is like the bull's day. They decorate him nicely, and there's a whole in the villages. There used to be like regular practice. They go around on parikrama, you know, like padiyatra around the village, and all the bulls are decorated and they're given special, uh, prasadam and sweets and different things like that. It's like a very, which is, of course, in our Vaishnava tradition, in the Bhagavatam, bull is the personification of dharma. isn't it? You know, we remember cow more easily. We tend to possibly minimize the importance, extremely important, because without good bull, without very healthy bull, cannot get cow. You know, I mean, it is tradition to maintain very strong lineage, very healthy and powerful bulls, and in this way you will have it's a whole science actually that was practiced before. So in your early days, you don't have experience of this festival, Brishavutsava? No, from the wrong part.
Time listen from you.
Is it? Yeah.
This is practice especially North India,
North India,
Haryana, Uttarakhand, Punjab,
Punjab, yeah.
Gujarat.
Well, also in yeah, Gujarat. Yes.
And before, by before all over India, but now
Yes, yes, yeah.
now is especially
Because there are not so many bulls.
Yes,
Over
because
there in
because
India,
we're not.
people
Yes, we're
forget.
neglecting bull. Correct. Yes, yes.
So then they,
Yeah, yeah. You know, dharma culture is going down.
they
And,
didn't experience how important is, how protective the keeping bulls. They
yeah,
don't use bulls, they use tractors.
correct.
And
Yeah, yeah, of course. So there's no
why
more.
why,
Yeah,
why do we have bulls?
yeah, yeah, correct. No, no, it's. Uh, and we, you know, normally we think of bulls as being very, mm, like, but actually, bulls are very. You have
It
experience,
just depends on how you train them.
right? Well, of course, nowadays because not only bulls but in general, we don't give the proper personal, so they're frustrated.
Yeah.
if they are happy, if they are happy, bull are
Yes,
happy. Yes, means
yeah, yeah,
good behavior. They
yeah,
do.
They need space to
yes,
run a little bit. They have a lot of
yeah,
energy.
yeah, 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 yeah,
They have
correct.
to play.
Yes,
And then they are very peaceful.
yes, yeah, then they'll be peaceful. There's actually sometimes the devotees, they will say, no, no, if you let the bulls loose, they'll fight,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is natural.
Yeah.
Why do they fight? To establish who's the boss.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
They have to establish. And
Mostly.
young,
Yeah.
Mostly.
one step further.
Right. It's
And
like,
they have teams to
They are
protect
fight one
of
another.
them.
yes,
And if one of the bull is sick, and you take the person, because then the sick, they will just kill that
Ah.
bull. You take it out,
okay.
and if you keep that bull after 1 week and put it back,
Yeah.
new way,
Right.
new fighting,
Yeah.
one after another. So
But there is what is called, they call it pecking system. Pecking system means like there's a natural selection of who is the leader in a group. That happens also amongst humans,
yeah.
you know, who is like meant to be the natural leader, and then he has to have that position.
Who is more strong?
Yeah, yeah, correct.
Not
Yeah,
necessarily the more fearful,
yeah,
easily
right.
can keep.
Yes.
Before I put on Gosala, who is more strong? Bull, he is boss.
Yes, correct.
Who is Gomata is more strong? He is boss.
Yes, yeah.
The cows also.
Huh? Yes, yes,
Same structure.
correct.
They establish.
Yeah. Yes.
When we first bring the young cows and calves into the big group, we have to stay for 1 to 3 days with them in the place where, because otherwise
Yeah.
maybe find themselves out very quickly.
Yes. Yeah. So our verse this morning is text 19, canto number 1, chapter 9, the passing away of Bhishma Dev, text number 1-9. Asyanubhavam
Asanubhavam
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Veda
Veda
Guyatamam
Guhyatamam
Shivaha
Shivaha
Nandi. Nandi. Anyway, we're speaking about Shiva's Nandi. So the Shiva is in the verse today. Devarshir
Devarshi
Narada
Naradaha
Sakshad
Sakshat
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
Kapilo
Kapilo
Nripa
Nipa
Asyanubhavam Bhagavan
Asanubhavam Bhagavan
Veda Guhyatamam Shiva
Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha
Devarshir Narada Sakshad
Devarshi Naradaha Sakshat
Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa
Bhagavan Kapila Nipaha
Anyanubhavam Bhagavan
Ashanubhavam Bhagavan
Veda Guhyatamam Shiva
Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha
Devarshir Narada Sakshad
Devarshi Naradaha Sakshat
Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa
Bhagavan Kapila Nipaha
Asyanubhavam Bhagavan
Ashanubhavam Bhagavan
Veda Guhyatamam Shiva
Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha
Devarshir Narada Sakshad
Devarshi Naradaha Sakshat
Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa
Bhagavan Kapila Nipa Asyanubhavam Bhagavan
Asyanubhavam Bhagavan
Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha
Veda Guhyatamam Shiva
Devarshiri Narada Sakshat
Devarshir Narada Sakshad
Bhagavan Kapilo Nipa
Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa
Ashanubhavam Bhagavan
Asyanubhavam Bhagavan
Veda Guhyatamam Shivaha
Veda Guhyatamam Shiva
Devarshi Narada Saksha
Devarshir Narada Sakshad
Bhagavan Kapila Nipa
Bhagavan Kapilo Nripa Asya
Asya
of him
Abhim
Anubhavam
Anubhavam
glories
Glories
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
the most powerful
most powerful
Veda
Veda
knows
known
Guhyatamam
Guhyatamam
very confidentially
very confidentially
Shiva
Shiva
Lord Shiva
Lord Shiva
Devarishi
Devarshi
the great sage
the great sage
among the demigods
among the demigods
Narada
Narada Narada
Sakshat
Sakshat
directly
directly
Bhagavan
Bhagavan
the personality of Godhead
the personality of Godhead
Kapila
Kapila
Nripa
Nipa
O King
O King
Translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai Shri Krishna.
O King, Lord Shiva, Narada, the sage amongst the demigods, and Kapila, the incarnation of Godhead, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. Kindly repeat after me. O King,
O King
Lord Shiva,
Lord Shiva
Narada,
Narada
the sage amongst the demigods,
the sage amongst the demigods
and Kapila,
and Kapila
the incarnation of Godhead,
the incarnation of Godhead
all know very confidentially
all know very confidentially
about his glories
about his glories
through direct contact.
through direct contact.
Report. Pure devotees of the Lord are all bhavas, or persons who know the glories of the Lord in different transcendental loving services. As the Lord has innumerable expansions of his plenary form, there are innumerable pure devotees of the Lord who are engaged in the exchange of service of different humors. Ordinarily, there are 12 great devotees of the Lord, namely Brahma, Narada, Shiva, Kumara, Kapila, Manu, Prahlad, Bhishma, Janaka, Shukadeva Goswami, Bali Maharaj, and Jamaraj. Bhishma Dev, although one of them, has mentioned only 3 important names of the 12 who know the glories of the Lord. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of the great acharyas in the modern age, explains that Anubhava, or the glories of the Lord, is first appreciated by the devotee in ecstasy, manifesting the symptoms of perspiration, trembling, weeping, bodily eruptions, etc., which are further enhanced by steady understanding of the glories of the Lord. Such different understandings of bhavas are exchanged between Yashoda and the Lord, binding the Lord by ropes, and in the chariot driving by the Lord in the exchange of love with Arjuna. These glories of the Lord are exhibited in his being subordinated before his devotees, and that is another feature of the glories of the Lord. Shukadeva Goswami and the Kumaras, mental position, became converted by another feature of bhava and turned into pure devotees of the Lord. Tribulations imposed upon the devotees by the Lord constitute another exchange of transcendental bhava between the Lord and the devotees. The Lord says, I put my devotee into difficulty, and thus the devotee becomes more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. Placing the devotee into material troubles necessitates delivering him from the illusory material relations. The material relations are based on reciprocation of material enjoyment, which depends mainly on material resources. Therefore, when material resources are withdrawn by the Lord, the devotee is 10% attracted toward the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Thus, the Lord snatches the fallen soul from the mire of material existence. Tribulations offered by the Lord to his devotees are different from the tribulations resulting from vicious action. All the glories of the Lord are especially known by the great Mahajanas, like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Kapila, Kumara, and Bhishma, as mentioned above. And one is able to grasp it by their grace. Translation again. O King, the Lord Shiva, Narada, the sage amongst the demigods, and Kapila, the incarnation of God, all know very confidentially about his glories through direct contact. So here grandfather Bhishmadev is
Sept Yudhishthir Maharaj.
huh?
Sept Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Grandfather
Grandfather
Bhishmadev.
Bhishmadev, Sept Yudhishthir Maharaj.
Yeah, he's speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj and the Pandavas, but especially to Yudhishthira Maharaj. Because in the previous verse, yesterday, he was glorifying, he spoke about Krishna as being the original personality of Godhead and as acting in very inconceivable ways. And he follows up by telling that there are some special personalities who know that Supreme Lord, who have a special intimate, very confidential relationship with the Lord, and the word bhava is being described here because just like the title of the book Nectar of Devotion is Bhakti Rasamrita
Sindhu.
Sindhu. Bhakti,
Rasamrita Sindhu.
yes. Bhakti actually is connected with bhava. And the whole idea of developing or awakening our bhakti is to awaken or develop our bhava, which has to do with sentiments, with feelings, with emotions, with Prabhupada translates actually mellow when he speaks of rasa. It's all connected with rasa, the science of rasa. And these personalities were mentioned both in the text and the purport. They are especially referred to because of their very, very elevated and because of having a very personal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So that ability, that that feature, that quality is actually within all living entities. That is nicely explained actually in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is the Nitya Siddha, this quality of bhakti, this quality of a possibility of developing these types of emotions. Krishna Bhakti Nitya Siddha. It is within, it is, we could say, like hiding or hidden within the heart of all living entities. And when the situation, proper situation, like Prabhupada makes reference to the Kumaras, the four Kumaras, they were transcendentalists, but when they came in contact with that whole lila, the four Kumaras were wanting to enter Vaikuntha, and then they were stopped by Jai and Vijay, and then the whole lila, the Lord came. What's any problem here? And then he had already, the four Kumaras had already cursed Jai and Vijay. Okay, why are you stopping us? We're little boys. No.
They cannot enter because they have no service move.
Yes.
The Lord have to come out to give some service.
Yes.
Otherwise
So they had never seen the Lord Narayan, and then they, when they bowed down to the Lord, they smelled the tulsi. The Lord always having tulsi on his lotus feet, and then bhakti developed like that.
smelling the tulasi is one of the service.
Yes,
Tulasi
So
and
they
sandalwood.
started to serve.
sandalwood, yes. So that's why that's part of the 64 items of devotional service. That's why every day we go around and have devotees smell flowers to kind of slowly awaken.
The service mood. Serve this beautiful Lord.
Right, right. Actually, so many great personalities, isn't it? Who are they are fully into the Muni. He's like constantly traveling everywhere, simply awakening that consciousness in living entities. That is the meant to be a feature of the Lord's devotees. They're not simply interested in personally developing, their Krishna consciousness. It is there, of course, but they are especially keen or desiring to help others also develop Krishna consciousness. That is the difference between the we discussed before, the mentality of Gosyanandi and Bhajananandi, isn't it? And this is very, uh, very clearly, we could say, explained and emphasized. It is especially emphasized in our Guru Parampara. I was reading different, well, especially in the activities of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, because he was known, as we know, Singha Guru, very line Guru, very powerful personality, with that whole missionary spirit of giving opportunity for as many living entities as possible to awaken. So sometimes, especially in the early days, when devotees first came to India and they would come to Vrindavan and they would sometimes get caught up in, wanting to know more and wanting to immediately, quickly develop these higher levels of bhava. And Prabhupada had to instruct them very strongly that don't prematurely try to artificially, it is artificially imitating. These things will come gradually in due course of time. If one is actually properly serving, it will automatically come. Just like if a child is given proper food, proper care, then he'll grow up as a healthy, body will be healthy, and his mind also will be very healthy, and he'll be naturally developing, evolving like that. So Vishmadev is one of the 12 Mahajans. He knows he's especially making reference to a few of those great personalities, Lord Shiva being one of them, Narada, Kapila, like that. So all of these personalities we read about in the Bhagavatam, and they are meant to be, for us, a source of inspiration by their different activities. Yeah, okay. Matajis are doing some seva. Seva means whatever. And important point also that Prabhupada mentions, and we've read about this as well. What is the meaning of tribulation? Tribulation. It's in the purport. Tribulation. Tribulation main difficulties.
No.
Yeah. Um,
This purpose is so unusual words, expressions.
yeah. Tribulations. The expression actually is called trial and tribulations. The everyone is put into like trial test, isn't it? Everyone is tested in so many ways, including even somebody becomes a devotee, he's tested. Got to keep an eye on these matajis here. Anyways, they can take a few bags, not a problem, but not beyond that. So everyone in the material world, even Prabhupada quotes this verse actually where he explains that to show special favor to his devotees, he puts them into what is called trials and tribulations, difficulties. Just like we read in the previous chapter, prayers of Queen Kunti. That was the whole situation there. So in other words, especially for devotees, we should not mind so much. We should not mind that Krishna will put us into difficulty. Why he puts us in difficulty?
Purifying.
Yes,
Withdrawing what we want to enjoy.
yes. Because as long as we are here in the material world, Maya is so all-pervading everywhere. And so strong, especially in Kali Yuga, that unless we squeeze out all the tendencies of wanting to be separate from Krishna, of wanting to enjoy separately from Krishna, he is reminding us. So yes, because that's the whole thing. Krishna consciousness is all about becoming more and more fully purified, completely giving up slightest speck of material enjoyment, so that one is fully and completely surrendered to Krishna. Then at that level especially, that is when Krishna is inclined to reciprocate with his devotees, isn't it? Yeah. Um, so that's he's telling here. Yeah. I put my devotee into difficulty. Just see, most people they go to church, please take away all my difficulty. But here, Krishna, I put my devotee into difficulty, and thus the devotee becomes more purified in exchanging transcendental bhava with me. Yeah. Unless we are, the more we are purified, the more we bhava, transcendental feelings, transcendental emotions, transcendental rasa, transcendental mellows, isn't it, with the Lord? Because that is where real happiness and satisfaction is in. That's what the residents in Vaikuntha and especially in Goloka, that is what the residents of Vrindavan, they're fully absorbed in these loving exchanges with the Lord. So this Prabhupada mentioned many times before also. Um, mm, mm. Tribulations or difficulties offered by the Lord to his devotee are different from the tribulations resulting from vicious action. What does that mean?
Actually, who person,
Huh?
actually, who person favorable for him as a
Bhuparsan. What?
actually a person,
A person. Yes.
like many of devotees
Yes.
who actually mm, favorable and how he developed your devotional service.
Yes.
That's like travel in travel hell.
In trouble.
I don't understand what you want to say.
Yeah. It's not fully clear. Yeah. You mean you're telling that Krishna, he puts devotee in trouble.
Yeah,
But why?
favorable for him.
Or it will be favorable for him. Yeah. I mean, it's telling the same thing, basically.
And why?
For purify your heart and create your
What will,
anubhav and
to purify the heart, but what will be the result? What is Krishna's purpose?
develop his develop his develop his devotional service unto Lord Krishna.
Devotional service is called
Bhakti.
yeah, but bhakti, devotional service, that is abhideya. There's sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana. So what is most important? What is the goal? Okay, and what is that prayojana?
Krishna Prem.
Yes, so it is mentioned here. All of that is to develop our bhava, to increase the quality, the intensity of one's, yeah, the pure devotees, they are swimming in bhava. They're constantly absorbed in bhava. It's like our, who is the name of that Bital Bhakta? Tukaram.
Tukaram.
Tukaram. He was a householder, but and
Maharaj, happy
his wife was
on the shoulder.
on the shoulder. Anyways, okay. And his wife was complaining, "You're not looking after us. We have children. We have so many things, and so what? So why don't you get a job?" And Hare Krishna. And then he was offered some job, I think, to look after some crops. That's in the um, in the movie on that. But he was sitting there looking after the crop, but he got absorbed in his chanting. And then some thieves came, I think, and they took everything away. So that is, of course, not everyone should be on that level all the time because nothing will happen. I mean, but we are meant to develop our um, transcendental, loving relationship with the Lord, uh, which is being referred to here by Grandfather Bhishmadev, that those personalities who are known as Mahajans, the 12 Mahajans that Bhishmadev is referring to here, they are Mahajans actually because they are situated on that transcendental platform. And that is actually the goal for each and every living entity. By the activity of bhakti, which is first comes, what is it? First comes sambandha, understanding our position, then engage in this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then we come to know about bhakti, devotional service, and uh, when sambandha is properly established, in other words, there's a direct connection, very scientific relation between sambandha, abhideya, and prayojana. We cannot artificially jump to prayojana unless we actually, the most difficult is actually the first one, bandha. We can, in theory, theoretically, we can understand, yes, I'm not the body. But so many times we think we are the body. When we get sick, we get what is called, we are on the body consciousness, yes. So here in the purport, yes, that is one of the reasons why Prabhupada is quoting how the Lord, he purposely puts his devotees into difficulties. How much are you off your bodily conception of life? We're put in difficulties. Actually, this is like helping us, should be helping us understand how much we are actually detached from this body, how much we're detached from family situation, with family relations, isn't it? How much we are actually situated. So these trials and tribulations are arranged by the Lord, ultimately to break these types of material attachments, so that we can more in a more purified consciousness surrender to Him, because it's only in that purified consciousness that we can exchange, reciprocate with the Lord. Yeah.
I read Bhakti Thakur's analysis of this kind of situation, and he mentioned that there are two types of worshipper of the Lord: one who knows the rasa and one who doesn't know the rasa.
Yeah.
So one who knows the rasa, they always enjoying that service.
Yes.
Whatever they offer, Lord is very happy, and they are very happy because they have constant loving relationship with the Lord. So when someone worships the Lord without knowing the rasa, that means they also have some slight reflection of this rasa. And that rasa is like appearing from inside the soul, like in the Kumaras.
Yes.
When they bow down, they've got some very, very, very unique feelings.
Yes.
And they are very clever. They start to search where it's coming from, and they find there's no material source it has, and no Brahman is giving that feelings.
Yes.
And then they remember, but because the jiva always needs some rasa, if they don't continue that service, they immediately turn to the well-known material
Yes.
rasas, and then they forget, because that material also have a nature that they cover the pure consciousness.
Yes.
So that's why the Lord takes out from this person who already have some experience for some kind of spiritual rasa,
Yes.
and then they turn to the material rasa. When the Lord takes it immediately out, then what should do? And then they, by good association, go back again to this slight reflection of rasa, and they start to open that more and more. So that is the method this Bhakti Thakur analyzes how the Lord is dealing with this.
It's like a physician
Yeah.
Who takes out some poison from the body.
Yeah.
You know, just like most people who go see doctors, they're not good patients. They don't like to take the medicine, or they don't take it on time, and so and so the disease continues, isn't it? So, yeah, this point is what Prabhupada also mentioning here, is that the Lord, therefore, at different times, He sends us something, He sends difficulties. He arranges that His devotees are put in difficulties to take out some of the negative, the poison. Poison means material connection, material affinity, material desire, whatever. And the more it's like if someone has a serious disease where the blood has become impure, then that until that blood becomes fully purified, we're still in disease condition. So Krishna is helping us. He's directly helping his devotees, actually by putting them into difficulties to squeeze out all different types of material affinity, material attachment, so that what is Krishna's ultimate uh, objective or goal is that when a devotee reaches that level of no longer being inclined, then Krishna will be able to reciprocate with his devotee. Yeah.
And also there is a principle of association. When a devotee put it into trouble, generally in that area, which is very well known for that devotee, a businessman will have difficulties, a really crash in the business area, and then he's very sad, very frustrated. But already there are some devotees around him or her.
Yes,
Is
yes,
tended to asking them why happened, what, and that's good association starts.
yes.
And then elevated devotee can help that devotee. Don't worry.
You're right, right, right.
Krishna's specialty is that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then they start to make the
Yeah, yeah.
person
Yeah, yeah.
realize.
Yeah, you don't realize it, but you have just received a special dose of special mercy.
Yeah. And that is the strategy of Bhishma for Yudhishthira, because Yudhishthira knows very well all the Shastra,
Yes,
but he doesn't understand why happened with me, why.
yes,
And then Krishna Dharma Prabhu analyzing this part and is telling that Yudhishthira was confused because he saw well-known Shastra, but he
yes,
didn't know why this happened with
correct.
him and with all the Pandavas and all the things. And then Bhishma said, yeah, because only a few person knows.
Correct.
And he's mentioned just few of them. They know only. Don't worry. You are not part of these 12
Right, right, right.
Mahajans.
Yeah, yeah.
He is not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so
Right, right.
he's making, don't worry if you don't know that, because it's very special knowledge.
Yes, yes.
And make sure that they know.
Yes, yes. So, yeah, this aspect of association is most essential because all of us in the material world, we have to meet different situations. We don't understand why different things are happening to us, and then we may become, because generally in the beginning stage, our Shraddha is still not that strong, so we may be finding it difficult to face certain tests that Krishna is giving us, and therefore, unless we have good association, as you rightly mentioned, to help us go through these difficulties, just like in a family situation in the material world also, family members are generally, in times of difficulty, trying to encourage and support other family members. Of course, in Krishna consciousness, that same tendency is there, but of a different nature. And of course, in ordinary family relation, generally they keep people on material consciousness, especially if somebody is about to leave their body. No, don't leave us, and so many. But devotees, like we have, that's one of the I would say, special features for us as devotees, because we have this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So whenever a devotee is about to leave their body, whenever it is possible, other devotees, they are there to give that support. And we know as devotees, yeah, you have to leave your body at some point. It's only natural. So just what is the solution? Take simply full more and more shelter of Krishna.
Yeah,
That's
just be happy.
yeah,
Offer your happiness to Krishna.
yeah,
and
yeah.
Krishna
But
will
you're not the body. You're,
make you
you
for
know.
you.
I sometimes I think just like the other day we're reading at nighttime after the Gaurarati. I think it happened just day before yesterday. It's like we're sitting, light is there, then all of a sudden the light goes out and everything is dark. The light goes out, but we don't go out.
Yeah.
So exactly the same thing is going to happen when this body is finished. The body will go out, but we will not go out.
You can continue whatever you do.
Well, we will not go out. Uh, Prabhupada explained this point also, which is very important, part of the nectar of devotion. Bhakti rasa amrita sindhu. Activities of bhakti, they are amrita, they are eternal. So if we have performed activities of bhakti, then it is, especially in the matter of the chanting, all activities of bhakti being on the transcendental platform, the more we perform those on that transcendental platform, that is what will carry us in our next life. Actually, that is like it's like our rope or connection to the spiritual realm, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, bhakti being spiritual, being transcendental, is what actually carries us, yeah, in the next life.
The bhakti have a nature that working with two persons. So that we forget, not alone we can keep the bhakti.
Yes, yes.
So when we
Yes.
come close to a person to whom we can offer some service, bhakti immediately is shining.
Yes.
But when we withdraw from some persons, we remain alone, and alone the bhakti doesn't
Correct.
shining, just withdraw
Yes.
itself. So that's we forget that nature.
Yes, yes.
It's always two-person need,
Correct. Yeah. Prabhupada one
object and
time
subject.
explaining what is the definition of love. Prabhupada, he mentioned love means two. There has to be an exchange between the lover and the beloved. You know, so that's why impersonal philosophy is not satisfying because there's only one. So alone we cannot. We are meant to be happy. We're meant to enjoy. We're meant to love. Actually, in an exchange, at least between one person and another, and of course, the ultimate personality with whom we are meant to exchange in loving relationship is Krishna. And we cannot immediately have that relationship with Krishna, so we are meant to practice with Krishna's devotees. So that means if we are having difficulty establishing personal, healthy, devotional relationship with devotees, then it will be difficult to establish our relationship with Krishna. Isn't it? Very important point. Um, we are meant to develop relationship, transcendental relationship with devotees, with the spiritual master, and this is the process or the method that Krishna is giving us to actually gradually awaken our relationship with Him ultimately. Uh, uh, just like we are quoting that verse, Aradhananam Sarvesham Vishnum Aradhanam Param Tasvat Parataram Devi Tadiyanam Samarsanam, that verse, right? You were quoting that. So, of all the topmost form of worship, that was the discussion between Parvati and Lord Shiva, is Vishnu. Vishnu Aradhanam Param. But higher than the worship of Vishnu or the worship of Krishna is giving attention and worshiping and loving those, what is dear to the Lord, which means devotees, which means brahmanas, which means the cow, which means so many things are especially dear to the Lord. So that we need to understand. The more we can, just like we were discussing a little earlier before the class about yesterday being, so I was asking a question to them, I will ask to both of you now. Yesterday, you may not know because it's less known nowadays. Yesterday was Vrishabhutsava. Vrishaba, you know Vrishaba? What is Vrishaba? Bull. Bull. Yesterday, not cow, bull. Yesterday was Bull's Day. Yesterday was, there's an annual festival to worship Father Bull in a Vedic culture. But it's followed in some places in India, but probably in most places like forgotten. You know, the Vedic culture is very rich in so many different festivals, and this is one of the, used to be very prominent. Actually, one devotee just wrote to me because I mentioned that yesterday in my little, every day I write something, and this devotee wrote to me, Maharaj, I'm from India, and I don't I don't remember this festival, so can you tell me more about it? So in some places, I was telling, like in Gujarat, and you're telling also like in North India, they know about this festival more. I guess in Chennai it's unknown. But they decorate the bull, they take the bull in procession in the village on that day, yesterday. Yeah. Because actually bull is the emblem of dharma, as we mentioned, and that's nicely explained, of course, in the Bhagavatam also. The bull and the cow are essential, actually, and fundamental for Vedic culture to actually be established. And that's why protection of cow, protection of bull is absolutely essential. A few years ago, we had in India, what was it called? The Vishwamangal Gogram Yatra, something like that. They gave that title, Vishwamangal, to bring auspiciousness to the whole world. And so for maybe 3 months, different sadhus, they had some yatra around India. So I attended one of those functions, I think maybe in Hyderabad or something. That was organized not by ISKCON, by other sadhus, you know, because in India, that awareness of the importance of cow and bull is there. So one sadhu was giving lecture. I was not there at the time, I heard it after. He was telling, very interesting actually, he was telling that so far we have experienced 2 world wars. You know, World War I, World War II. But he was talking in a different context. He said, ones you think about. The first, these 2 world wars were connected with mother. Huh?
Mother Earth, Mother Bhumi.
No. He said the First World War was when Lord Ramachandra fought Ravana because of Mother Sita. The Second World War Mahabharata, when Draupadi was, for the sake of Draupadi. And so this sadhu went on to explain, and there will be a third world war, another mother. That mother will be Mother Surabhi, cow. Because actually, just like there's more and more people, they are aware of what is called cruelty to animals. There are organizations against the cruelty of animals. And we, as devotees, should be especially concerned about the cruelty to cows. I mean, we talk about it a little bit, but what are we actually doing, isn't it? So Prabhupada was many times mentioning, for example, in the Light of the Bhagavat, small book that Srila Prabhupada wrote before going to America, Light of the Bhagavat, he mentions that those who are serious to bring about solution to the problems in the world, what should they do? They must first give their attention to protecting cows.
And maybe that comes together protecting the earth.
Yes, that is directly connected also with protecting Mother Earth. So these are the two of the three gifts of nature. These are the two: Mother Cow, Mother Earth, Mother Bhumi. So that is the Vedic culture: cow, earth, and then knowledge. These are three gifts of nature that are meant to be protected, and the fact that so few people know about this festival that was held yesterday, Vrishabhutsava, it's a direct indication, direct proof that we have allowed bull to be forgotten and neglected very very badly because we are deviating from what is meant to be the natural way of doing farming, for example. Because using machine is not the natural way of doing farming, as we are doing. We are exploiting ever, increasingly more and more Mother Earth by the way we are doing modern day agriculture. So it means that actually in a practical way, Krishna consciousness is not simply, speaking and talking, and we must demonstrate it in a practical way. By that's why Srila Prabhupada was reminding us the importance of reviving this village lifestyle, this more natural way of living, where we are forced. We are forced means that to live in village means you have to be in contact with the land, and you have to keep cows. You see, and most people nowadays, because no, I cannot keep cow, because then it means I have to stay at one place. And most people don't like the idea of staying at one place. But that is actually modern disease, because the more people, we know every day people are traveling. Nowadays people travel all the time. And therefore so many accidents, so many people die. Every single day die in accidents, isn't it? And it seems to be happening more, like in India we hear about lately, I don't know, in the last few months, this train derailed, that train derailed. Well, when you're going 100 kilometers an hour on a train and it derails, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Or I think maybe last year or the year before, 2 trains collided. I mean, it's the last thing you expect, right, when you're going in a train, that the train will derail or hit another train. But these things happen. And one of the reasons they happen more and more because people have good training, less attention span, less abilities and whatnot. The whole system is connected very much with the whole system of education we have, which is not natural also. People will cheat in so many ways just to get that paper, that diploma, that certificate. And then they'll take on a job. Yeah, I have the paper. Yeah, you're certified, but you're not qualified, isn't it? So we have so many people more and more in positions of important responsibility, but they are lacking in qualification, isn't it? So more and more accidents, and when you're dealing with like aviation, people flying, we know that it takes a long time because they have to check so many things. But even that, accidents happen. So this whole modern setup is actually, Prabhupada would say, very, very bad. Very, very bad. In so many ways, it's affecting families, it's affecting relationships, it's affecting our health, it's affecting our physical health. I mean, in terms of health, in terms of the body, and also our psychological health. All of these things, because we're not living the way we're supposed to live. How we're supposed to live? We're supposed to live the way Krishna and Balaram and the residents of Braja have shown us. Yeah, that is the Vedic norm. That is the Vedic economy. Not working behind computers, as most people are doing. Yeah, eyesight becoming, So I'll just read the verse again. The beginning of the Bhagavatam class. Today's verse was 19. This is Grandfather Bhishmadev speaking to Yudhishthira Maharaj. In yesterday's verse, he was glorifying Krishna as being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how everything happens under the time factor Kala, all orchestrated by the Supreme Lord. And now today, in this verse, he's referring to other saintly personalities who know and the special feature of those personalities is that they are constantly in different levels of bhava, loving relationship with the Lord. So this is the verse. O King, Lord Shiva, Narada, the sage amongst the demigods, and Kapila, the incarnation of Godhead, all know very confidentially about his glories, Krishna's glories, through direct contact, means through association. So yes, association is what Krishna consciousness is all about. As Lord Chaitanya would say, asat sanga tyaga e Vaishnav achar, stri sangi eko sadhu Krishna abhakta ar. So giving up this asat, whatever is asat, means whatever is material. Asat sanga tyaga, give up. Okay. Comment, question? Yeah, now competition is coming.
Lord Krishna says Brahmana is very dear him.
Yes.
But here is many types of Brahmana.
Yes.
Such Brahmana is demigods, Ma Kali, Ma Durga, Lord Shiva.
Yes.
They are also Brahmana.
Yes.
And some Vaishnava Brahmana.
Yes.
So all Brahmana is dear.
As are dear to Krishna, some are more dear to him, especially the Vaishnava Brahmanas. Yeah, the Vaishnava Brahmanas are very dear to Krishna. So we should become, actually, if somebody becomes Vaishnava, automatically he's Brahmana. He has developing the qualities of Brahmana. So our primary goal is to endeavor to become a Vaishnava. Yeah. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
Jai Sri Prabhupada ki. Gaur Dipinandi.